and the greatest thing is, all our bags are here as well. So tomorrow we're gonna get headed out, hopefully see some stags tomorrow, but I am super glad to be here. Well, we've just arrived in New Zealand and BJ Holdsworth has picked us up with ample hunting and we're getting ready to possibly even head out today, the first day. But first, I need to shoot my bow a little bit.
You know, you've travelled a long way. We're in the southern hemisphere, your arrows fly upside down here, of course. but yeah, it's really important to know where your bow's at.
It's really nice to land and see that you can still shoot nice groups. My luggage didn't get banged up and my bow is still in good shape. Now, I've been waiting for this trip for over a year. Everything's on and I can't wait to get out there and go after some stags, turkeys, and whatever else we might come across.
We're a small hunting outfit. When you come and hunt with us, you get nearly 10 square miles exclusively. No one else in the lodge, no one else in our hills. It's private land, we control it, so you're going to have a good look. It's going to be your deal. You're not going to be competing with anyone else in the lodge, and I think that's kind of important.
One thing I was really excited about were the number of turkeys here. Now, BJ had told me ahead of time that there would be a ton of opportunities to take turkeys, so the very first day, well, that was what was on our mind, turkeys. It's a great thing to get things started. I was a little tired from the flight, but at least I was able to let a few arrows fly, and I ended up with my very first New Zealand turkey. That was awesome. We got right up on him, 35 yards. First New Zealand bird down, not a bad way to start it out. I don't think he went very far. He went right over that edge, too.
You've been in New Zealand about 6 hours?
6 hours, and we've got a turkey down. That is awesome. God, beautiful. Now, these are Merriam's?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we've got sort of between 300 and 500 birds on our property, and because there's no predation, they're pretty quiet. There's no coyotes in New Zealand and no, real threat to them, so they're pretty relaxed and they're great practice.
The very first evening after taking a couple of turkeys, we had seen a beautiful stag in the spotting scope. Now, he was a long ways off, but he was a jaw dropper, an absolute beautiful, beautiful stag. We had a pretty good idea where he was living, but we needed to wait and just be patient for the perfect wind. That way, when the wind was right, we could come in from the top and make a perfect stalk. Some people may think if you have a colored bow, there's no way you'd be able to do a spot and stalk hunt. Well, I think I'm proving them wrong in New Zealand right now. Now, my entire bow is covered in pink accessories, and Matthews makes it easy for you to customize your bow. They have a page on their website called Bow Visualizer, where you can go in, plan out the colors you'd like on your bow, print it out, and bring it to your local bow shop. Now, I've picked out all pink accessories, but of course you can pick any color you like. In fact, Matthews has a variety of colored accessories. Everything from the harmonic damper, harmonic stabilizer, string suppressors, the actual string, and colored monkey tails. So basically, you could take your plain old bow and make it your own. Now, if you'd like to get your bow decked out, you can also add a few colored arrows and make it a complete package. Now, all of us like to have personalized items. Now you too can make your bow your own.
Winchester's Deadly Passion is presented by Winchester Ammunition, Thompson Center, Cuddyback Digital, Bog Pot, Cabela's, She Outdoor Apparel, and Hunter Safety System. Melissa Bachman is on a trip that most hunters can only dream of. hunting the mythical red stag of New Zealand. After playing the wind game and stalking what appears to be a fantastic stag, the odds just weren't in Melissa's favor. So fast forward to day 2 and more hiking, searching, and glassing. Melissa must carry a lucky rabbit's foot in her pocket because, as luck would have it, Melissa and her guide BJ Holdsworth spot not 1, but 2 outstanding stags grazing the fertile land, oblivious to the 2 hunters stalking them.
And this couldn't have been better. Sometimes it can be hard to try to keep up with an animal as they're feeding because, well, let's face it, my legs are not as long as theirs.
Well, we heard them roaring first and we see those 2 stags. I had a fairly good idea with the way the wind was blowing, we were going to be able to get in maybe 60, 70 yards. I thought, well, we'll give it a go. We've got nothing to lose. And what I was really hoping for, that he was going to come onto us. But one who turned out to be the problem was looking at us, he was looking around, he was still pretty relaxed, but he had his eyes, ears and nose switched right on.
And he ended up deciding to bust out of there, and of course the other ones ended up going off as well. A super cool stag, almost looked like an elk. Beautiful, beautiful stag. Now, being at 60 yards, if that doesn't get your adrenaline going, I don't know what will. What are the chances? Now that we got in close and I had an up close and personal look at some big stags, well, I knew it was gonna take quite a bit to keep my adrenaline under control. This was the most inches of antler I had ever seen.
Yeah, I mean the red stags, they're the biggest in the world in New Zealand. All the sort of top 10 stags, probably 9 of them come from New Zealand. We have super genetics here, we have very fertile soils, and we have a climate that will back good antler growth. And those key ingredients are what make New Zealand famous for what we've got.
Now I'm here at the beginning of March, and really this is kind of before the entire rut gets started. But there's some good things with that. Before the rut started, well, some of these big stags act just like bull elk or anything else. They want to be on their own. They're not coming out until the ladies are completely ready and they're conserving all their energy. Of course, it's cool to be hunting anything during the rut, but as a bow hunter, well, I like to take my chances one-on-one. I'd rather have one big stag and I, rather than a stag, a ton of hinds, and trying to get in close.
Yeah, the rut generally starts here in mid-March, and it can go for a month, can go for 5 weeks. It's a lot of fun. Stags are unpredictable. They can be here one day, they can be 2 miles away the next day. They're moving, they're looking for girls, they're fighting, they're roaring. You know, a stag's roar is totally unique. It's sort of cross between a lion roaring and a cow mooing. It's a pretty cool sound. It's a very special time of the year for me. It's really good.
Got 2 nice stags at about 100 to 150 yards. We're gonna try to get around them. There's 2 of them, so we gotta be careful. But we're just gonna belly crawl our way to them, try to get inside 50 yards. The one is really nice. Well, that was a good stock. That's not a bad way to start off. I mean, we crawled into 60 yards on 3 big stags. In fact, I didn't even see that 3rd stag there.
No, I didn't either. Not until towards the end of things.
Well, you know what? We proved we can get inside bow range. I just got to get something so I can get up a little bit easier. I mean, we just ran out of cover here. Yeah. We got to where we needed to be, but...
We're pretty lucky with the wind.
Good
Pretty
planning.
lucky.
Good planning. Anytime you're hunting deer, scent is super important, and you want to try to keep your scent to a minimum. Whether you're hunting whitetails in the Midwest, or now I'm in New Zealand hunting red deer. Now on this hunt, I'm trying to do it all spot and stock. And this is super important to try to keep your scent down, because you may get into a situation where the wind can change or things can be different, so you want to spray down. Now each day I spray my clothes down completely, but I also keep a thing of scent killer in the field just in case I need to spray down some extra. If you've been on a long stalk and get super hot, it's not a bad idea to spray your hat down, reapply it, and that way you'll be set on every spot and stock situation. Scent is a huge, huge factor when you're bow hunting, and you want to try to keep everything in your favor.
With a couple of stalks under her belt, Melissa and BJ are getting closer and closer to getting within bow range on one of the giant New Zealand red stags she has her heart set on. But like everything in bow hunting, patience is a virtue, especially when you're hunting from the ground.
Spot and stalk hunting, the total aspect of it is challenging. This country's, most of it's pretty open. You know, you can do a fair bit of crawling on this place, so it's challenging, but there's lots of little guts and trees and stuff that you can use to your advantage, and we do that. It's just a matter of making it happen. It is my preferred method. It's the most exciting way you can hunt an animal. There's nothing more that can get my heart racing for sure.
For Melissa, the added challenge is all part of the fun. Of course, the terrain makes it difficult. Some of these stags are out in the wide open and completely unapproachable. But good things seldom come easy, and Melissa is ready to put on the miles and cover some ground.
We were trying to get different ideas on where these stags were at, and decided there's one tool that I usually use back in the United States that works great on whitetails. I decided to bring a couple of my cutty back cameras along. That way we could set them up and get a good idea of what was coming through one river bottom.
Up here, this is the wall I was talking to you about.
Holy smokes.
These guys are just like elk. They just love mud. When they get itchy and when it gets hot, they want to play in this stuff. And
wow, this one looks like it's definitely been getting used.
Look at these prints, they're everywhere. So
look at the trees. I mean, they're rubbing even up on the trees. Now this is all red deer that are coming in through here?
Yes, fallow deer don't wallow at all, so we know it'll be a big red stag, that right there.
We've seen a few that have been pretty muddy, so.
Yeah, they almost look grey with this mud, it's quite interesting.
Tell you what, if I didn't want to do spot and stock so bad, this sure would be a great place to hang a tree stand in here.
Yeah, any number of these trees would be perfect, wouldn't they? We've got a whole bunch of trails all coming to this sort of an intersection, really. It's Red Stag Junction right here.
Absolutely, and there's so much sign around here. I mean, I've seen some scrapes around. You've got trails coming in from almost every angle. And the trees are definitely big enough. There's a few good ones for tree stands, but I think I'm gonna stick with the spot and stock for right now, but at least we know we've got a great backup place that if we want to set up a tree stand, this is obviously the place to do it.
There's no question that there's an abundance of stags in the area, but getting inside bow range can be another story.
Yeah, they're unpredictable. Stags have a great sense of smell. They have great hearing. Their eyesight's not too bad either. So, yeah, just like your whitetail or your elk in the US, you've got to be real careful. And yeah, we're lucky to get in within sort of 40 yards most of the time.
When you're bow hunting, everything matters. You want to make sure you have your scent under control, you want to make sure that you're always playing the wind, and you've got to be very careful on a stalk. They will bust you in a second if they can smell you coming.
But it's not only the stags you have to worry about. As you're stalking the hillsides, you will likely encounter a wide variety of game that can bust your stalks as well. Fallow deer and goats are abundant and can make for some great hunting. But on this trip, Melissa's #1 goal is to harvest a red stag with her bow while on the ground. A difficult task, no doubt, but she's hoping her patience and persistence will pay off.
Your patience is very, very important. You know, you can go in and race on in and be a really super aggressive hunter, and you might get lucky every so often, but for most of the time you'll just be bumping deer and you'll be making them more wary and harder to hunt. And if you're a spot and stalk bow hunting, you do not want to do that. You want to have your homework, you want to have a plan A, plan B and nearly a plan C.
With time running out and plan A and B behind them, Melissa and BJ are hoping that plan C will land them within bow range and she may finally have the opportunity at her dream stag. Winchester's Deadly Passion is presented by Swarovski Optic, North American Hunting Club, Rage Broadheads, Matthews, Can-Am, Wildlife Research Center, and Hot Mox.
Yeah, it looks good. He's there. He's where he was last night. He's grazing away from us. The wind's perfect.
He went down at about 100 yards, but this is one huge stag.
See the blood coming out of him when he went down there and he dropped. I thought, yeah, he's history, and he's rolled over. He's gone. He's probably gone only 120 yards, 110 yards, if that.
Hey, you told me I'm gonna need suntan lotion in New Zealand. I don't
know.
know what kind of person you think I am, but I'm freezing.
Hey, I thought you were from Minnesota. I thought you could handle the cold.
Oh my goodness. I have never, ever, much less seen anything this big and shot it with my bow. Oh my goodness.
Look at this.
Look at that.
A forked basil snag. Oh, he's just beautiful. He's just perfect. He's got a kicker coming off the side. He's got what looks like sort of a dropper coming off the back of there.
Wow. This is awesome. Thank you so much, BJ. First time ever to New Zealand, and BJ has been treating us wonderful. We're out here with Ample Hunting, and this is an absolute gorgeous stag. My first stag ever. We got to spot and stalk it with a bow. And you guys not only have just a beautiful place, but absolutely beautiful animals.
Scoring 474 at the time of this filming, this stag makes Melissa the new world record holder for biggest stag ever with a bow for a woman. Coming up next week on Deadly Passion, Melissa takes her bow across the country for her very own turkey tour. After logging over 5,000 miles and hunting a variety of states, Melissa wrapped up the spring with some of the most incredible turkey footage you'll ever see. 4 states, 8 birds, and a whole lot of fun coming your way next week on Deadly Passion.